Coverage brought to you by CK Contracts Limited. At CK Contracts, we know the customer is always right.
This afternoon we're at Lochshore, home of Garnock Rugby Club, for the Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 3 clash against Livingston. Garnock have been the surprise packet in Premier 3, coming up from National Leagues last season and topping the table after 3 games. Livingston have been around in Premier 3 for a wee while. They were a poor start to the season and are looking for something from this game. But early on it was all Garnock. And Michael Jemison tied up there just short of the Livingston line. Out to hooker Graham Reid and in for the opening try after a quarter of an hour. It was a wee while coming for Garnock, but a very neat looking try when they got it. And although that kick was pretty well out in the touchline, no problem for skipper Paul McCrory to slot the conversion over. Livingston not wanting to drift too far behind, starting to put the phases together. Forwards taking the ball over the halfway line. Callum Simpter finding Glenn Mushet. Mushet's kick downfield, but very well taken there. Lovely pick up by Declan Goldie, and the Garnock Academy head boys scything through the Livingston defence. Lovely wee chip ahead by Gareth McCrory. Who was going to win the touchdown? The man who got a hand to it was Fraser Thompson. What a well worked try, practically out of nothing by Garnock to take them into a 14 points to 0 lead after Paul McCrory had slotted a simple conversion. Just over half an hour gone, and Garnock sensing that this was going to be their afternoon. Livingston just getting a wee bit desperate, but not able to stop a very, very powerful drive. That's something we're not going to see too often in rugby these days, is that sort of powerful drive when you can pull down the ball. But when the ball came back, it was one McCrory to another and then back to the first one, setting it up for the forwards. And David Ferguson and Stuart Mushet defending desperately there for Livingston. Paul McCrory, lob pass there to Gareth McCrory, taken out by Colin Cantley, getting the offload into Fraser Thompson. Thompson held just short of the line, and referee deciding that Livingston not rolling away. Penalty taken quickly and thumping over there despite the tackle by Aaron Johnson. Try for centre Peter Eadie. Bit of quick thinking there by the Garnock man, giving McCrory no problem at all, slotting the conversion and taking the score to 21-0 with 7 minutes to go of the first half. Livingston getting their hands on the ball, trying to make the most of it. Nice wee break there by Mark Douglas. The Garnock defence having to hustle, having to work. Break there by David Ferguson. Suddenly Livingston feeling there might be something in this move for them. And it's Simpter to Mushet. Mushet out to number 8, Aaron Johnson. But oh dear, the last ball just went to ground. And it's a scrum to Garnock on their own line. And breakaway there by number 8, Ross Miller. Laying it back. Paul McCrory sniffing a gap. And almost from his own line, zooming away there, up to halfway by one McCrory, and the other half finished off by Gareth McCrory. Terrific try from their own line by Garnock, taking them into a half-time lead of 26 points to 0 with a bonus point in the bag already.
Coverage brought to you by CK Contracts Limited. At CK Contracts, we know the customer is always right.
Into the second half, and Livingston looking to take something from this game. 18 minutes into the second half, no further scoring, and pressure on the Garnock line. Big lock David Ferguson there, guarding the fringes of the ruck and taking out Declan Goldie as the winger tried to relieve the pressure, but finally the ball worked back on the Garnock side, and it was that man as ever, Paul McCrory, slamming the ball downfield, out of danger. Well taken by winger Jason Watt, trying to open things up a wee bit, taken out by the follow-up tackle. Then Mushet, nice wee kick, turning the Garnock defence. Bit of a problem there for Stuart White, and Livingston on him like a flash. Chance here. Well, it would have been if the ball had come back on their side, but again it was Garnock who saved the day, took play back downfield, and what was Livingston's best chance of the afternoon had disappeared. And Garnock, as the final quarter of the game approaches, starting to turn the screw. Brian Middlemas, unmistakable prop there, trying to get the ball away, but the steal by Garnock, and the ball whipped out to centre Michael Jemison, and picking a beautiful line there to scythe through the Livingston defence, giving Paul McCrory the easiest of kicks to take the score to 33 points to 0. It was only a couple of minutes later, and Garnock rubbing salt in the wounds now. Almost an interception there, but watch this one from Stuart White. Nothing on, and turning on the afterburners. Lovely wee show and shimmy there, leaving Colin Cantley for dead and in under the posts. Thanks very much, as Paul McCrory. Another 2 points added to his tally as the score moved up to 40 points to 0. And Livingston, well, they weren't giving up. They're still desperate to get points on the board, but again the ball stolen there, out to Fraser Thompson. Thompson, lovely wee offload to Gareth McCrory, and McCrory again in behind the posts through what by this time was a pretty fed up Livingston defence. And Paul McCrory making it 6 out of 7 successful conversions as the game entered the final minute. And again it was out to McCrory, Paul of that ilk, and this time himself in behind the posts to make it easy for the final kick, taking the score to 54 points to 0. And Livingston drop out, Garnock knock on. That'll do us, says referee James Matthew, and Livingston won't be too upset about that. At the wrong end of a 54 points to 0 scoreline at Lochshore.
Today the forwards are a wee bit flat. I don't know what was wrong, but to come away with 5 points and being flat with the forwards, it's not a bad achievement. Backs have played very well today. As I say, the forwards are a wee bit flat, but we're quite pleased with the score. And that's 4 games unbeaten, so very pleased.
Well, Livingston's miserable start to the season continues, but Garnock clear top of Premier Division 3 with maximum points. They could not have wished for a better start to their season. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Lochshore.
Coverage brought to you by CK Contracts Limited. At CK Contracts, we know the customer is always right.